Picture this, the American dream, promised in neon lights. But what if that dream is grounded before takeoff? What do you think? So on the 28th of July 2025, the US mission in Nigeria issued a sharp warning. If you apply for a visa primarily to give birth in the US, so your child gains US citizenship, it's not allowed and your visa could be denied. That is the news. Okay, so what is birth tourism? I've never heard of that before, but when I saw that news, I thought I'll bring it to you. So let me describe birth tourism to you. It's also called maternity tourism. It is the practice where pregnant women travel to the US with the intent of giving birth so that their beautiful bouncing baby child will automatically gain American citizenship. So under the 14th Amendment, any child born on US soil is granted citizenship automatically, regardless of the parent's nationality. While legal in principle, US immigration authorities have long considered it a misuse of tourist visas, which are meant for short visits, not for seeking legal status for future generations. That's how they say it, for future generations. Anyway, this practice has led to controversy. Critics say it exploits a constitutional loophole and it also undermines immigration laws. Some supporters argue also that it's legal under the Constitution and has long since been practiced by the wealthy from various countries. Trust my Nigeria people, the Olowos, the Babalowos, they will be there. However, the US Embassy in Nigeria have actually spoken out. So they said using your visa to travel for the primary purpose of giving birth in the United States so that your child will have US citizenship is not permitted. That's what they said. So consular officers will deny your application if they believe this is your intent, that is intent to come and have your baby for future citizenship. This warning was actually published by the US mission in Nigeria on the 28th of July 2025 and it was shared across their official platforms including Instagram and Facebook. I actually found this on Yahoo Mail yesterday, okay? The embassy emphasized that consular officers have the authority to refuse a visa if there is any indication whatsoever that the applicant's intention is to use it for birth tourism. Many people online, trust me, netizens and Nigerians, expressed their frustration. Some said the US was unfairly targeting Nigerians, while others acknowledged it as a part of stricter global visa enforcement trends. You guys know since Trump came in, Trump has been trumping, eyes chasing everybody everywhere, you know. I don't know what this would be mean for those who are looking to, to go in there. Anyway, this warning didn't come out of nowhere. It's part of a wider US crackdown on birth tourism, particularly since 2020. It's been since 2020. So in January 2020, the Trump administration issued new rules authorizing consular officers to deny B1 and B2 visas if they suspected the applicant's primary purpose was to birth in the US, was to come to the US to give birth to their baby for citizenship purposes. But what if I tell them that that is not the reason why I'm coming? Can they still detect? Anyway, although that executive order was challenged in court, the framework for denying birth tourism visa remains embedded in consular discretion. I love when they use the discretion of the officer, that is applying or looking into your application. Anyway, people are saying that Nigeria is one of the most countries frequently associated with birth tourism. Nigeria is most associated with birth tourism to the US. In fact, the US Centers for Immigration Studies once listed Nigeria among the top countries whose citizens give birth in, with thousands of Nigerian babies born in the US each year. This practice has become common among the richer people and middle class people. Some even arrange it through birth tourism agencies, offering hospital bookings and accommodations in US cities like Houston, Atlanta, or New York. I've actually seen some of those adverts as well. In fact, I know somebody who actually went from the UK to go do it. Okay, these agencies often promote full service packages ranging from $5,000 to 20,000 US dollars or more. But now, even suspicion of using these services could result in your visa being refused. So open your eyes. Be sure you're not going to go through an agent. Rather than going through an agent, maybe you should go through it and do it yourself. So what are the implications and the legal context here? So while US laws grant birthright citizenship, consular discretion allows a visa denial if misuse is suspected. So the distinction lies in intent, and the embassy statement now puts intent under the spotlight. So what is the reason why you want to go to the US without Bele? This means more intense scrutiny of visa applicants who are pregnant or suspected to be. I don't know about that. Anyway, interviews may now include questions about travel purposes, pregnancy status, and medical plans abroad. Applicants must now prove that their visit is for tourism, business, or family, not childbirth. What if I was pregnant and I still tell them I want to come and visit or I want to come and do business? Anyway, those who misrepresent their intent face not just visa denial but future ineligibility for US entry. So, what is the big picture here? The big picture. This advisory is part of a growing global conversation, and I'm sure you will agree with me. With rising migration, nations like the US, Canada, and Australia are actually rethinking how automatic citizenship interacts with temporary visas. UK will never be on this list. UK will never be on this list. Anyway, for Nigerian citizens, this is more than policy. It's a warning. Bam, it's a warning. US visas are getting harder to obtain, and birth tourism is now facing flagged, now a flagged red line. So before booking that ticket, think twice about your visa intent, because if it's for childbirth, the US just might say no. They might just say capital no. So if you are considering birth tourism to the US, meaning traveling there specifically to give birth so your child gains American citizenship, it's important, very important, to understand the legal, ethical, and personal risk involved. So here is honest, practical advice for you. I am not an immigration lawyer, I am not an immigration advisor, but I'm going to put this here. Number one, understand that it's now a red flag. The US government has officially stated that using a visa primarily to give birth is not permitted. Know this and let God be with you. If a consular office suspects that birth tourism is your intent, your visa can and likely will be denied. Your intent also matters. Even if you are giving birth in the US is legal, lying or omitting the true purpose on your visa might actually be considered as fraud. So please avoid doing anything that could make them think you are a fraudster, okay? This could result also in a permanent ban under US immigration law, which is section 212A6C of the INA for representation. So one thing you should also know again is this: don't lie on your application. I think this is straightforward for every application you are making, okay? If you are already pregnant and applying for a US visa, be honest about your condition and your travel intent. Lying or omitting the pregnancy, especially if it becomes obvious at the point of entry, can lead to so many A few things. Let me mention a few. Okay, it could lead to your visa being cancelled at the border or at the point of entry. You could just enter America, and from the airport then go bounce you back to where you're coming from. It could lead to detention, and also they could deport you at the spot, or if they realize that this is what you are coming to do but you've lied about it. It could also lead to a lifetime bar from the US. You don't want that to happen to you. You don't ever want to get barred from not being able to enter another country. Number 3, know your rights, but also your limits. Yes, the US Constitution grants citizenship to almost anyone born on US soil, but that doesn't give you a right to enter the US to come and give birth to your baby. That's what they are saying. So immigration law controls entry, and I'm sure you all know that, not citizenship at birth. I hope I'm making sense. The government can lawfully refuse visas or entry if they believe you are misusing the system. And we all know how people will tend to misuse the system, and then when they get caught, they start shouting all over the place. Another advice is this: consider financial and legal responsibilities even if your application was successful. Remember that you will pay out of pocket for the cost of your delivery, which can range from, I've heard, which can range from $8,000 to over $30,000 or even more than that, especially if you don't have an insurance. And we all know everything in the US is insurance based. So failure to pay US hospitals may damage your credit, it may affect your future visa applications, or it could even lead to lawsuit being brought against you. You want to come and give that, you are now carrying case to court. You don't want that for yourself. Your child, though a citizen, can't sponsor you for legal immigration until they are 21 years old. So if you have that baby now and you face all that while your child will not be able to do anything for you. They will not be able to file for you until they are 21 years old. And even then, it's not guaranteed because laws could change before that child turns 21. Am I making sense? Lastly, there are other legal options. If your intent is to provide better opportunities for your child, why don't you consider, 1, applying for a student or work visa if eligible. So that way, this will allow for a more stable and legal path to residency. I don't really understand the pathway in the US, but I know the one in the UK has changed. Okay, it's changed a lot. Also, exploring other countries that allow legal birth tourism without the same level of enforcement that the US is now enforcing. Though these are also tightening up. Like I said, the UK is already tight. So carry out your extensive research. Okay, investing in long-term relocation if you want your family to settle abroad legally. I can always say it on this channel, always come through the legal way, go through the legal channel. Okay. And lastly, be wary of middlemen and agencies. Some bad tourism agencies promise to help you get into the US legally, but many they will quote you to lie during interviews. And so when they do that, when you now go and do the interview, they will catch you out because they know you are lying. Some of them will also give you fake hotel or medical documents. All of these things you can easily do them on their own. You're on your own. You can book your hotel booking yourself. You can make this application yourself. You don't need any agencies. Also, some of these agencies, they will exaggerate what is legally allowed. They'll tell you, don't worry, this is that. No, don't always put all of your eggs in one basket with them. These schemes are fraudulent and they will put you at a more serious risk. Also, think long term. If your child is born in the US, they will have citizenship, but you, the parents, you will not. You will still need a visa to visit or live with them later on. Okay, you may also face immigration penalties that may make future visits even difficult for you or even impossible, and then that child will either be that if that child is already in the US, it will not be able to see them. So what is the purpose of actually going to the US to have this baby? So your child could also be caught in a split status family, which can create complex legal and emotional issues. The bottom line is this, my fellow Nigerians, my fellow people: if your goal is a better life for your child, plan in the legal way, do it transparently and long term. Okay, bad tourism might seem like a shortcut, but the risk now far outweighs the benefits. Immigration laws are tightening globally, and the US has made it very, very clear. Okay, intent to give birth on a tourist visa is no longer tolerated. It is no longer allowed. So if you find this video very helpful, please do not hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, share, and I shall see you in the next video. Please take heed of these notes in this video. All right, thank you, and I'll see you next. Bye.